thousand. I don't believe we get as much as 1 million gallons from pot works. I stand corrected. But 90% is still produced by RO. Now, the thing about RO water is that it is expensive because it is energy intensive. You know, and I have said again, prior to the elections, and I don't believe in misleading people. I have said to the people of Antigua and Barbuda that the solution is not just about meeting the demand by increasing the supply. You also have to look at the issue of pricing in order to conserve. And you would have heard that in the Jamaica video there, they spoke about water conservation. Now, if you do not price water appropriately, obviously you make sure you have a low pricing to protect the poor and the vulnerable. But if you don't price it appropriately, then you're going to have water profligacy and water corruption too. Now, they spoke about all these trucks transporting water to probably private individuals and to companies. I mean, we saw the same thing here. You know, when people in the various communities couldn't get water, we saw these big water trucks going all around, especially the hotels.
Yes, yes.
Now, I don't know if they were involved in turning off valves and so on, but I can see that they could have had a motive so to do. I'm not saying they did so. But clearly, the same turning off of valve and so on, that's exactly what happened in Jamaica. Now, what we have done is that we have increased the commercial rates. Now, I'm not even sure it has increased at a level to prohibit that purchase of water, because the hotel plants in particular, we want to encourage them to put in their own RO plants. They should not be depending on the water that is produced by the government and competing with consumers, considering that we have water stress. They should have their own facilities. And I am of the view that we should not be subsidizing the cost of water to the to the commercial sector. I'm of the view that it should be properly priced, and that APA should even make a margin on it so that they can subsidize water to individual consumers. Now, even at the level of where we charge water currently, $22 for, what's it now, 1,000 gallons, it's extremely cheap. Now, I can see us perhaps leaving at $22 for a certain class of people up to a particular level of consumption. But anything above and beyond that, we have to adjust the rates going forward. I said so prior to last elections, so no one can accuse me of duping the people for voting for us, and now we're seeking to adjust water rates. But it has to be adjusted because it is extremely, almost cost prohibitive to install these water plants. And to operate them as well, as I said before, it is energy intensive, which makes it extremely costly to operate these plants. So if we don't increase the price, then we cannot sustain the production of water, and then you're back to square one. You know, because we have to maintain these plants, you know, I mean, almost on a variable, on a daily basis, or at least weekly basis for sure. You have some kind of membrane going bad, you have to replace a membrane, you have parts going bad. The maintenance is also very costly. You have to change filters and so on. You have to buy chemicals. So there has to be some adjustment to the water rates. However, we are prepared to continue to hold strain until such time as we increase the capacity, the supply, to make sure that people at least can get the water. Because some people argue, okay, you want to increase the rates, now you're not even supplying. So address the issue of meeting the demand firstly, and then you can adjust. And that is precisely what we're looking at.
All right. Prime Minister, before we come off of things relating to us here in Antigua Barbuda, domestically, let's look at the region as well. Before we move from that spot, St. Lucia, any progress in terms of discussions regarding Liat and St. Lucia coming on board?
Well, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia has indicated that he will support Liat. Obviously,